Hi, welcome to Impossible Live. Welcome back if you're joining us again. And wherever you are, whatever's happening in your corner of the world, thank you for spending a few moments with us. This is for you a virtual toast as you're celebrating holidays, milestones, family gatherings, personal wins, some alone time, some downtime, or just a chance to curl up and relax with your favorite people or do some of your favorite things over the holiday season or over the summer season as our friends across the pond in Australia and New Zealand remind me as it's their beautiful summer. Regardless of where you are and what you're doing, really want to just thank you for joining us. Let us know where you're joining us from. One of the things as we're leaning back, and one of the things about today's session title is Rejuvenate Trust is something I wish for our world. And I wish it in a way that if if this was a candle, for example, that we can make a wish for, a holiday wish, I would I would blow this out and make a wish as some of us in the Northeast are expecting snow, others are hoping for a white Christmas. But I would make a wish if I could, for peace and for prosperity. And hi, Ileana, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I would make a wish for peace, for prosperity, for pockets of peace. And if I could, to help people locate living bridges to rejuvenate trust. For some of us, relationships can have some interesting angles to them and interesting angles in the perspective of as we go around the holidays or as relationships change historically, we can make a wish. And that would involve the if I could help inspire others to rejuvenate trust, that would be something I'd love to help others do. And one of the reasons why is when trust is broken, when trust erodes, when it didn't necessarily exist in the first place in a relationship. And sometimes we're not always aware of that. Hey, Mike, thank you. Oh, Mike, thank you so much. Peace be with you also. And as we're talking about this part of if I could, because in terms of trust, when trust is broken, when trust evaporates, when something changes, we're not always aware of it. And we don't always see the warning signs. I can think of a couple of relationships. And Mike says peace is a state of mind. And Mike, I also think peace can be a state of being. uh, it can be a state of being, a state of possibility, uh, where we really explore what is possible through the lens of peace. You know, I was so delighted as we were uh, moving things around and redecorating around the house to have located this candle, which reminds me of the amazing person who gave it to me. And it's not a relationship that still exists. And it is a historical relationship and from somebody I really learned a lot from. And we think sometimes of what does change in relationships and what words might replace the words that were exchanged in what in sometimes is our last conversations with someone. And it can be a person who has passed on to another state, they've transitioned. We were working with them and we never kind of could figure out the right things to say to align a relationship or possibilities or just open a door. But that part of really just being able to lean in, if I could inspire others to rejuvenate trust, to find one person over the next couple of weeks or the next month or the next complex season of gratitude, grief, and growth in their life. One relationship to kind of show up differently, to write that letter that we wish we had always written, to make that call and pick up the phone to reestablish some sort of connection or some sort of possibility. And I love it. Thanks for sharing wishes, Ileana. Ileana says Ileana's wish to be able to keep focused and keep pushing. Okay, that was two wishes. So I think they might actually be one, Ileana. We should definitely talk about that more. Because as Mike is saying, we can extend the hand in peace, knowing it can be accepted or rejected, and to open our minds and hearts to both possibilities. And yep, that's really part of Mike, as always, with the crystal ball, with that amazing lens, that reminder. You're definitely right. It can be accepted and it can be rejected. Or we could reach out to somebody and find out their answer is not now. And in some cases, some might say not ever. I was smiling recently because someone I hadn't been in contact with in a long time, who I adore, introduced somebody who I adore, who's in, as you would say, my inner circle, my wheelhouse. And they suggested this person reach out to me, and we were smiling about it because sometimes that picture, that possibility, if I could, to reawaken a possibility, or as suggesting, to rejuvenate trust. It could happen. Hi, Jedi J. How are you? One of the things that happens though sometimes is we lose the courage. And that's one of the lines of if I could, if we could help each other instill courage, like Martin Stark, our courage champion. If we could introduce others to young Jedi J so he could have a conversation with you about powers and about superheroes and about leadership. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Thank you so much for popping in and for bringing incredible energy. But I do think that Ileana kind of really caught on it. Rejuvenate trust is about a wish. It's about a wish for world peace. It's about a wish for harmony. It's about a wish for, and for those of you who may be looking at Powerball or Mega Millions or winning lottery tickets, this is prosperity with missed from a local business. We would wish we could spread it everywhere. And it also reminds me that Leslie Flowers had an amazing poll today asking us about words that we would change or delete. And I smiled because, Leslie, my word that I might change would be the word could. Could means there's a wish behind it. It means we're not sure how. We're not necessarily sure who to ask for help, when to ask them for help, if they'll help. But from an encouragement perspective, and as Mike's saying, from living in the present, I am pausing because Jay always, what does rejuvenation mean? So, Ray, Jay, rejuvenation has to do with adding a spark, of lighting a match, of lending a hand, of adding something that someone needs, or answering a question that we were asked at one point that someone needed an answer to. One of my dear, dear friends who has transitions, and we really, really miss her. And her extended family really misses her also. But in the process, our last conversation, she asked me a question, and my answer didn't align with the answer she was looking for. Rejuvenation, I think of as a cool version of inflation, a way to kind of blow something up in a peaceful way that doesn't cause a fire, that doesn't require a first responder, that just brings some energy, some light, some love, and rejuvenating. Sometimes we can feel that things are dry, that there's a clarity to it, that it could use it in an infusion. And Jay, I hope that answered the question. Keep asking if I haven't quite answered it in the way that you need to. But rejuvenation, I think of rejuvenate trust as a way to not repair, but replenish a relationship, to give it a chance, to give a spark, to add something that someone needs, someone's looking for, something that you can easily deliver. And as far as trust, there's opportunities occasionally when both are trust willing or both are trustworthy or we've evolved to a different place of self trust in our trust journey. So something's changed historically. And in that process of you can rejuvenate trust by taking a step. May not be sure at the time, it's a step in the right direction. We may not be, as Mike was saying, the answer might not be now. It might not be the right timing for the person we're reaching towards. It may not be the right time for them to have the conversation. We could be reaching out in a real public situation in which some privacy is needed and really need to lean into that internal timing or that intuition that the timing's not right. The words of this song just inspire me with hope and they inspire me to take a step. It's a reminder in relationships where I could have done something differently. And Mike, thank you. Return energy or lifeblood to. That's a fabulous definition of rejuvenation. And for trust, it likely needs to be done periodically to maintain it. I agree, Mike. And periodically, in some cases, is daily. There may be someone you're out of touch with or that you'd like to rejuvenate trust with, that you happen to know their favorite color. You happen to know something that gives them absolute pleasure and delight. And sometimes it can help you open doors because it can really be a priceless gift to rejuvenate trust. And if I could, I'd share trust toolkits and help inspire others to identify trust opportunities. Jay, rejuvenating trust means being able to recognize who to trust because not everyone is trustworthy. So, Jay, you're continuing a conversation that we were having last week during your superheroes and leadership with amazing Kimberly Lechnick and Dr. Lisa Drew. And part of that, sometimes not recognizing who to trust means that an opportunity, Jay, is to start with us. If we're able to help locate internally keys to help us locate, leverage, install, strive for self trust, that's the place to start. That sometimes the person who might not appear to be trustworthy may not have your trust toolkit. They may not have any trust toolkit. And in some cases, when someone's not trustworthy, it may feel like the person may have had a lot of trauma in their life that we're not aware of, that we're not sure how to help navigate, that we may never truly be aware of. And Jay, you're right. There are people every single day who are breaking others' trust. And it's a decision from a self-trust lens. Are they trustworthy? And sometimes the question is, do we trust ourselves around this person? And that gives an opportunity, Jay, for a trust reflection, as I call them. So I have a trust journal, got a couple of them now. And one of them started, and it became kind of the inspiration for Impossible Live, a gratitude and Impossible Live journal. I started during the pandemic and started sharing it out loud. It was a private journal and started asking questions or sharing things in it. And it's the reminder, Jay, that discovering the possibility to trust ourselves fully and to bring that full self to every relationship, that you're interested in succeeding in every relationship you're interested in, hopefully exploring or discovering. Ah, Jay, I love that. When Jay is with his parents, he feels rejuvenated because he trusts them with all his love and your heart. And Jay, that's it. That gift sometimes that comes from a parent, and I can say this as you're looking at a picture of my parents here, one of my favorite pictures that I discovered recently. And I started making sure the picture's nearby for when I need a spark on a gray day or when I need a lift on what can be a complicated day. Rejuvenation can happen to us spiritually. It can happen from discovering today that yesterday was Leslie Flowers' birthday. And for those of you who have not had a chance to meet the amazing Leslie Flowers later, I encourage you to look her up and one of her amazing live streams that she has on a weekly basis, and all she does to help others who have live streams become more aware of great places to discover thoughts that lift our spirits. One of the things that's challenging, Merry Christmas, beautiful Lachelle. I am so excited because I'll meet Lachelle in less than a month. So, for those of you who have not had a chance to tap into Lachelle's book that we mentioned last week, one of Lachelle's books that we mentioned last week during Reflections, this masquerade, check out this amazing mom. And this amazing mom with 15 children who has a wonderful heart and really is somebody who I trust as having the skill set, the toolkit to be able to rejuvenate trust in any relationship. We wish that others can wave a magic wand sometimes and fix things. It's not always possible. We wish that we could discover the puzzle pieces that are needed to kind of change, energize, or brighten a situation or a conversation. From the perspective of rejuvenating, as Mike's suggesting, add some element in that returns energy or adds a lifeblood. And the lifeblood part is complicated because we're returning energy or really talking about making a change on a cellular level. It's beyond our brain, and in some cases it's beyond where we can get stuck in a hurdle or in a step in a relationship. I learned in the past in this process of rejuvenate trust that silence is not always the answer. The sounds of violence. It's really, I learned from that amazing dear friend who asked me a question that I could not answer in terms that she appreciated or that she needed to hear. And Jay, trust in the force and rejuvenate. And Jay, woo, what a cool mic drop. For those of you who are not also Star Wars aficionados, who are not also Jay, Jay, I love that. Trust in the force and rejuvenate. Jay's mic drop for the day. As you can see, my heat is up and running, and you can hear it in the background. And I love what Jay's saying because that really is today's invitation. Trust in the force, your internal one, accept the ones that are external that we can't necessarily change, acknowledge that they're present, and try and add something that enriches, whether it's a spark, it's an opportunity, or an invitation. I am wishing you the most peaceful. Leslie, we've been toasting you. No apologies. This is your birthday week. And Leslie, we have been raising toasts to you. Happy birthday week. Happy magical day as we're celebrating the joy and the pleasures and the blessings of beautiful Leslie Flowers. Hope you're having a magical celebration of another trip around the sun. No need to apologize. Thank you all for all you do to just lift us up and lift us up with love and light. And so today, as I'm making a wish, whether it's for Hanukkah peace, Christmas peace, Kwanzaa peace, and the a chance for us to all explore trust ops, trust opportunities, rejuvenate trust. If we could, if we can, something we can do together. Let's chat. Take some time, take some care for some self love to reach out to someone who can use a happier, brighter spark or the energy from hearing you and your beautiful heart. Hey, Christy, lots of fabulous energy. If you're on LinkedIn, check out these amazing professionals who are popping up and reach out to those we know who are still searching for that perfect next fit, next opportunity, next trust opportunity, next job opportunity, next relationship opportunity. Let's get together and help them rejuvenate trust. And let's make it happen. And as Jay said to us, trust in the force and rejuvenate. Have a magnificent day filled with blessings, with opportunities, and with possibilities. Stay safe, stay well, stay inspired, and please stay in touch. Take great care. Be well.